Okay, so your next poem is Animals, which is by Walt Whitman. Now, reading about the poet, we come to know that Walt Whitman is a major figure in early American poetry. He was an American and he had a very great role to play in his early American poetry. And he was famous for writing a revolutionary poetry that is free verse. He used to write about revolution, that how to bring change. He wanted to bring change in the period in that time, and that's why he has written such kind of poetry. So this poem which we are reading, Animal, is from his work Songs of Myself. So there is his collection of poems, that is Song of Myself, and In Leaves of Grass from that book. So this poem is also from there. So basically in this poem Animals, what Whitman is trying to do is trying to compare or draw a comparison between human beings and animals, and in a way he is time and again telling that animals are way better than humans. He feels that animals are better, they are better creature than human beings is, and he has also supported some reasons for it. So we will be seeing all of it in this poem, that why he feels that animals are better than human beings. So Whitman says that, I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look them long and long. Now what the poet is saying, that poet is actually telling you the qualities of animal and says that he would rather prefer living with animals than human beings. I think I could turn and live with animals. Poet says that he could actually live with animals instead of living with human beings because they are so placid. Placid actually means something which is very calm and composite. So he wants to say that animals are very calm. They are so calm. They are so beautifully maintained, and they are self-contained. Self-contained means they know when to control. They have a good control on themselves, and that's the reason that he stand and look them long and long. When he is actually standing and looking at them, he looks at them very deeply. In a very deep relation, he is observing the animals, and he could stay there for long and long, which is hard for him to stay with human beings, because human beings are surrounded by a lot of other emotions. Human beings are not at all calm. They are not at all self-control. They do not have self-control at all. So that's why poet says that he would rather prefer living with animals than human beings, and he feels that animals are in every sense better than human beings. Now we have seen in the first stanza what the poet has done. Poet is directly telling you that he wants to live with animals and he feels that animals are better. Now in the coming stanzas he is giving a valid explanation that why he wants to stay with animals and not human beings, why he feels that animals are far superior than human beings. Now he says they do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not sweat, they do not work hard, and still they whine. Whine means they cry. They do not work so hard like human beings they do, and still what human beings do, they cry about it, which animals clearly they do not do it. Like human beings, even if we have the best things in life, even we have all the luxuries, even if we are at the best point of our life, still we are going to whining all day. Still we would whine about all the things ke ye hai par ye chahiye abhi mujhe. Even if you have it, you are still going to whine, cry about all the things, cry about your current condition. That's the tendency of human beings. Human beings are never satisfied. They are not happy with whatever they have. They are never ever satisfied with it, and that's what animals, they don't do it. Animals, they are very happy with whatever they are. They never complain. They never cry. They never complain about what is happening with them right now. That's why poet feels that animals are better than human beings. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their duty to God. Animals, they do not believe in God. Animals, they don't even know if there is something like God which exists. But we human beings, we know. We, like us animals, they do not awake in the dark. Awake in the dark means awake at the night. Like when animals, unlike human beings, they are not actually waking up at the night thinking about all their bad deeds and sins and then weeping off for their duty to God. Then crying about their duty to God. Animals, they don't do it. Like human beings, we do it. So what poet is trying to do say is that what human beings are capable of, what humans they do is, first of all, they'll commit some crimes, okay, and then they will be waking up late in the night thinking about all those things and feeling bad about all those things, and then crying about their duty to God कि मुझे तो अपने भगवान को भी मुंह दिखाना है, what I would say to God, crying about all these things. So what the poet wants to say that animals are not like that. Animals, they don't do all the bad things and then go to God and say sorry about it and says कि मुझे तो ये करना ही नहीं चाहिए था, ये तो sin है, this is a पाप. So animals, they don't do it like human beings. Not one is dissatisfied. Not even one animal you can find who is dissatisfied, and not even one human being you can find who is actually satisfied. So that's why clearly animals are better. Not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Not one is having this mad crazy or mad attitude of getting more and more things. It happens with human beings. Like I believe we call it even this as a hobby, but it is sometimes it is a bad hobby of collecting or owning things. Like when I was a kid, I had a very strange habit of collecting pens. So I used to have this much huge bag full of pens. So everybody has a habit of owing something, especially as a kid. But as we grow up, the habit keeps on changing. The habit sometimes even becomes like a sin or something which is bad for us. So the mania, we have this crazy mad habit of owing things. Like we want more and more and more. We are never satisfied. वो end कभी आता ही नहीं है. That limit never comes. So this is not with animals. उनको animals क्या करते हैं? They whatever they have, they are satisfied with it. They have little, they are happy. They are not going to grab more and more कि आज खाना मिल रहा है तो और लेते रहो. They are not like human beings that they don't want more and more. They are satisfied with whatever they have. Okay, now one more thing. If you remember, I remember the time when this corona came to India. So corona thing happened and there was lockdown, news was announced. So people, they went so crazy. They went to marts and they shopped a lot of food. They collected a lot of food items at their home, that even there was shortage of food across the whole world. So we can clearly see that how crazy human beings are at owing things कि मुझे मिल जाए. Even if someone is dying of hunger, that is fine, बस मुझे मिल जाए. So that is the attitude of human beings which animals they do not have. They even believe in sharing animals, which human beings comparatively they have less tendency to do it. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Now the poet wants to say that in animals, everyone is equal. हर कोई equal है. There is no that someone is superior or inferior. कि कोई राजा है, कोई नहीं है. It's not like that in animals. Everyone has equal position. Everyone is treated equally. But in human beings, it's not the case. Human beings kneel to one another. Human beings, they get down in front of other people, that if they know that they are having some profit or they're going to get something out of it, they are going to kneel down, which animals they don't do it. Human beings में तो ऐसे इतनी सारी caste, creeds and so many divisions are there, okay, which is not there in animals at all. Animals are not divided on the basis of all these things which human beings are. Now even they do not even kneel down, or they are not they do not give one special importance to someone who was of their kind that lived thousands of years ago. So that is something which human beings they do. So in a way the poet is actually pointing out at all the, maybe we can say the gods, the sadhus, then the sons and the gods who are not living right now, but we are still praying to them and we still have a deep faith in them. So poet is actually pointing out at all those people that somebody who is not even living now, somebody who is not even alive now, who has lived thousands of years ago, who is not even present at the moment, and we are still kneeling down in front of them. We are still bowing our heads and showing respect to all those things. But why? And sometimes even in the name of religion there are people who are committing crimes. But why we are doing it? So that's why he says that human beings are not at all good at it. On the other hand, animals are, because animals, they treat everyone equally. If somebody who has lived thousands of years ago, they're not going to kneel down or pray to that person like we human beings we do. And in this way also animals are better than us. Then the poet says that not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. Now he's talking again about animals, that animals, not even a single animal you will find who is not respecting each other, who does not carry respect for each other, or is unhappy over the whole earth. Is basically actually comparing again animals with humans and saying, if you see in human beings, everybody is having respect. Everybody has respect as per the status of their in their society, what kind of status they has. The rich has obviously more respect than the poor ones. The upper caste has more respect than the lower ones. So that's why he says that in human beings, respect is actually divided, but in animals it's not that. Not one is respectable or unhappy. They do not carry like this kind of respect as we human beings we do, which animals they do not, and that is one of the biggest negative trait of human beings. And everybody is happy. You'll not find animals weeping and crying over something. They do feel sad. They also have some emotions. They also feel sad for the loss of their loved ones. But for the little things, animals, they do not feel unhappy at all. If suppose if I say, like, if we talk about materialistic thing, if something is taken away from humans, human beings are going to think about it and feel so bad and depressed about it. But with animals, this is not the case. Animals hamesha khush rehte hain. Most of the time you'll find them happy. Beyond if there is, beside if there is any loss or sorrow, real sorrow if they are going by, or if there is any pain, which is physical pain, which is being given to them, beside that, animals, you will see they're always happy and satisfied. Over the whole earth means, like, if you go to the different parts of the earth, you will see that animals have same characters which humans, we do not have it. Animals, you'll always find it in this way only, they're always happy. So they show their relations to me and I accept them. So poet says that they show their relation. Like if animal comes to me, suppose if you are having a dog, so we believe that dog is a very kind and loyal animal. Okay, so the dog is going to show you his true colors. If dog wants to be friend with you, he will become, the dog itself will become friend to you. It's not like human beings. कहते कुछ और हैं, करते कुछ और हैं. This is the quality of human beings. We human beings, we do not show our true relations or true self to people. But on the other hand, animals, they do. If they are telling you something, they are doing it. If animals want to be friend with you, they will become friends with you. They'll not become friend or piche se they are doing all the planning and plotting of how to take revenge or how to kill or how to do something with you. Animals, they don't do it, but yes, human beings, they do. Human beings will never tell you about the true relation or the true motive they have behind your friendship or relations or whatever. So this is again the quality of animal, that animals, they are always true to you. Whatever they'll show, they are actually that in front of you. They bring me tokens of myself. They evince them plainly in their possessions. Now token is some sort of love or regard, we can say. Now what animals, they do it, animals are going to bring you some tokens. Okay, tokens in the sense that some sort of love or some sort of affection they are going to show you, and that is actually true. That is not lie like human beings, and then plainly in their possession. So that is something which they actually possess, and that's why that is what the animals, they are going to do. Animals are not going to show you something which they do not have. They will show you something which they actually possess. They have it within themselves. They're going to show you that part of thing. They're going to show you the token which they actually have, token of love and affection which they actually have in their heart, which human beings clearly they do not have. Human beings, they might want to become your friends, but the motive of the friendship could be something else. They might show that they're very nice to you, they're very kind to you, but it's not the case always. Human beings have some inner motives which nobody can know of, because that is something which is going in their heart and mind. So in a way we can say that as human beings are blessed with a greater mind, so the greater mind brings greater sins and greater bad deeds also. Now the poet is questioning himself. He says, I wonder where they get those tokens. So he's actually asking animals that from where you have got these tokens, that how you can be so lovely, so affectionate, why you are like this, why we humans are not like that. So he's actually, again now he's questioning himself that why, how come, he's wondering that how come animals are so kind and generous. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently dropped them? So he's questioning himself and asking that, did he pass all these qualities to animals? Or from where animals have got all these good qualities and all these tokens, if we talk about, that has poet without even realizing or very carelessly, has poet dropped it off. So in a way he's saying that all human beings were also blessed with all these things, all the good emotions we talk about which are there present in the animals. Initially human beings were also blessed with it, but what human did with time was that human beings with time they neglected and they rejected all these good human qualities, and maybe they have dropped them off. They have given away all these qualities long time ago, or so he is also introspecting and calling himself and saying to himself that maybe he also had all these qualities which he has given away or dropped long ago, and maybe animals have picked up all those qualities, all those good tokens or good qualities which the poet is mentioning, which animals have. Maybe human beings also had it. Obviously human beings also had it long time ago, but what humans have done is human beings have just dropped them away very carelessly without even realizing their mistakes. Human beings have dropped away all these qualities. So clearly we can say that narrator has given many explanation and told that why animals are better than human beings, because animals, they do not commit crimes and sins. Animals, they do not kill each other. You'll never find an animal killing its own animal, killing its brother or sister just for some particular reason. But human beings, we do it. We tend to commit a lot of crimes and sins one by one, and we are so inherited with all these crimes that we tend to commit a lot of errors and mistakes. We want to we just blindly commit on crimes without realizing what we are actually becoming. So there's no doubt, if you see it from the poet's point of view, there's no doubt that animals are way better than human beings. Animals still, they have emotions. They'll not kill. You will never see a tiger killing another tiger, or a cow killing another cow, or any other, for example, any other animal killing the other ones just for the sake of fun, pleasure, or just for their own deed. You'll never find it. But human beings, yes, they do it. So clearly animals are way better than human beings.